To have a panel that is off the chain for real, y'all. We got Mr. Lord Michael Stephen Paul. He is a Grammy nominated super producer for many A-list artists. Then we have Miss Kiana Ray, philanthropist, entrepreneur, model, actress extraordinaire. We also have the political activist and political strategist, Mr. Samuel Blue. And everybody know who we got right down there in the bottom left corner. That's Mr. Big Blockbuster Hawthorne James. 9 to 5 is our 9 to 5. Y'all better recognize. Anyway, welcome, guys. I'm glad to have y'all on the WINNA'S podcast again. And Lord Michael Stephen Paul is the new panelist. And we are so glad to have him with us. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get it popping. I will give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves later on, but y'all gonna tell a whole bunch of lies if that humble pie. So anyway, Sawyer, I'm talking to, when y'all hear me say Sawyer, I'm talking to my engineer. First topic of discussion is, what are your views on Kamala Harris' stance on transgender, pre-transgender, for us taxpayers to pay for inmates and illegal aliens? With that being said, I'm going to, there it is right there. She has supported gender-affirming care for incarcerated people. So first, I'm going to start off with Mr. Hawthorne James.
I don't know why you starting off with me.
Because you're my winner.
Shit. Oh, man. You
can pull it down now, Sawyer. We've seen the title. Please. Hey, Mr. James.
What do you say to nonsense? What can you say to this? It's PC out of control. It's so stupid. We got people in jail that are there because they don't have enough to eat. We got people in jail because they have no hope. And yet you're gonna spend my money on somebody who has decided that they don't want to be a man anymore, or they want to be a man. It's just stupidity. If I want elective surgery, if I want my nose done, that is incumbent upon me to pay for it. I'm not asking Sam. I'm not asking Kiana. I'm not asking Fitz. I'm not asking Michael. Nobody does that but me. So don't ask me to pay for this nonsense. And that's that. See, the pandering is just ridiculous. You know, how much is a vote worth?
Correct. I agree. And I was thinking and wondering, how did it even be? Excuse me, guys. How did that even become a discussion or a topic to reach Congress? You know, that's what I've been thinking. All right, let's go with Lord Paul.
So the first thing that jumps out at me is the wording itself, which is the keyword has, meaning she probably changed her stance on or her position on that. So when you utilize the word has, that means it no longer has any context in what she's running for or against. So my comment is, I'm not going to go off that particular dialogue or verbiage that just pulled up, but I will say this. Look, I've been blessed with a great music career and now films. And before that, I did enough bids to know that there was a lot of going on in the system. And when you have men or women, because women do get in prison too, maybe that's why they wanted to just change their agenda so they wouldn't have to go through all that and just decide whatever their personal reasons are. That's their personal reasons. I'm a man of the Most High, so I don't pass judgment nor an opinion on someone's personal beliefs. Look, just like Mr. Hawthorne said, it's incumbent to them. Whatever they want to do, they pay for it themselves. But I don't want my tax dollars. Look, I don't want my tax dollars paying for wars. I don't want them paying for a lot of things. You know, our tax dollars pay for Ronald Reagan to put cocaine into the neighborhoods with the CIA with the crack. So
correct.
I definitely, if she still had that stance, then I definitely want to agree with her on that. I would want more context from her personally out of her own mouth, not from a news outlet. I would want to have that conversation with her personally.
Right. Okay. I agree with you, both of you guys, 100%. But to me, the simple fact, even though you said it's past tense, I know everybody has the right to change their mind and they can change their mind. But in the beginning, to even send it to Congress for it to be passed, that is very suspect to me. Tiana?
With it, for me, I am a woman of God, so it's just a bunch of confusion. It's pushing confusion with the tax dollars. So, you know, you're in there, like Mr. Hawthorne said, there's people who don't have hope. They're in there because they don't have the means and they did something to where they had to go in there. But I don't feel like as a taxpayer, I should have to pay for that you should use my money for that. Wait till you come out. There's been a lot of people that have been joking about, hey, let me commit a petty crime so I can go get me a quick BBL. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that on Shay Shay Show. Yeah. And you know what else I want to say, too, is it's going to cause so much confusion as far as housing them inmates. Now, what are you going to do? Build transgender inmates? Facilities? Mr. Blue.
Well, I definitely agree with what everyone said. What I would say is that, you know, she did that when she was the AG of California. And one of her interviews back in 2019 when she was running for president, she actually did an interview to where she said she fought for people to have trans surgeries. And she was the primary reason, this is her word, she said she was the one responsible for making sure that the California criminal system opened that up. So, you know, she took ownership of it. So it's one of those things that I don't think she's changed her stance. You know, sometimes she may say, well, you know, it became the law, so I had to abide by it. But she initiated the law, you know, especially in her interview when she was speaking in front of at a trans conference. You know, whether she was lying or not, capping or not, she said it, so she took ownership of it. So, you know, a lot of people realize that, especially people that stay out in Cali, they understood that. And, you know, more times than not, I find that there's more men, soon as they get ready to get their time, they say they're now a female, so they can be housed at the women's prison. You don't hear a female saying that I want to be a man before their sentence, because they don't want to go to the men's prison. They want to stay right where they're at. So, you know, I do think it's a double standard on that. But, she, you know, for me and my research, she has acknowledged that she was a strong support and the one who passed that in California.
I watched the Candace Owens show, and I know a lot of people don't like her, but she has been, her fact-checking is what I like about her. Like Hawthorne James was saying last week about Jill Stein. Everything that's been coming out of Jill Stein's mouth has been the truth, even if she is even willing to admit if she said something wrong. I'm saying this, though, as far as recently on the Shay Shay show and the Candace Owens show, I don't see any prediction of her changing her mind. So I think she still stands firmly on that. Okay. Now, does anybody have any rebuttal with anything that anybody else said?
No, not really. The only thing I want to add is about the housing. So in the system, we were housed a certain way. It's called your pedigree. So depending on the type of crime you committed,
Correct.
If it was a heinous crime, then you'll be housed in a certain population. If it was a high profile crime, you will be held in population, but you'll be in protective custody in PC. So when you have the transgender community or those that want to change their sexual orientations to avoid a certain situation, honestly, you would really have to be in the system to really comprehend like that whole system. It's really crazy, man. It's really nuts. I've seen COs set people up, bro. They set people up to get beat up. They set people up to get. It's like it was really crazy, and I'm so glad that one thing about me, any CEO, anybody that ever was housed with me in any facility would tell you, I didn't just play them games. I stayed to myself, and anytime because they would send the softest dude to you to test you, and that's how you pass or fail. So to them people in there going through that, man, like Mr. Hawthorne said, man, it's 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 really important, man, to someone's train of thought and what they're going through, and it's a whole lot to it, man. I'm a heterosexual male, so I cannot tell you what it feels like for a person who wants to decide to change their gender choice. You know, my thing is, if the Most High doesn't have a problem with them, then it's not my business to have a problem. It is what it is. And
you know, I feel the same way. I feel the same way too. But to have my mother, who has been a school teacher all of her life, have to pay for a decision that a politician makes for not just inmates. I would be against it if it was for free people that weren't incarcerated. All right.
Add to that too, with this sex change, it's going to be a lot of people that's coming out that didn't go in the way that they came in. And so what is that going to do for the women, the men, the ratio of, women to men?
I'm glad she asked that.
That's going to be a big problem, because already men that go in, women have to deal with, did something possibly happen? It's just too much on that.
No, Mr. James,
it's good. I'm sorry, Fitz. Hey, Kiana, just real quick, it's a good thing you asked that. So I've been housed with drag queens. I guess that's what you want to call them back then. Before all this transgender and stuff, they had them housed with us, but they had them segregated. So they would be put in the men's housing, but it'll be a segregated unit. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that too. I did 18 months. Yeah, I agree. I remember that too. Mr. James, you had a thought on my winner?
No, I was just thinking that Mike was talking about the system, and the system is set up on purpose this way, not to even house you, but to really hurt you, to really punish you. If you look at any of the systems, like the European system, I'm not going to talk about this Central America, the South America system, because they are just atrocious. But the European system, first of all, you don't have 5,000 people in a square block.
Nope.
In Europe. Here, you just jam people in. You have auditoriums full of people that don't even belong there, who shouldn't be there. Look at Rikers Island. People have been there for years on petty crimes. What are we?
2 years waiting to go to trial. Haven't even been to trial.
No, Fitz, more than 2 years.
Yeah, it's more now.
I have a friend who who went to his mother's funeral in Florida, in Orlando, got into an argument with his sister. She called the police. The police came and said, "What do you want us to do?" She said, "I just wanted him to calm down. Y'all can leave now." They ran his name, found out that he had a warrant from 1998 for a petty crime for a little over $2,000. He's still in the joint now. He's been there for almost 6 months. The money was raised to pay the little $2,000. The judge said, "Go away. Not taking your money. You're going to jail." What? That's insane. That's
in Florida. That's in Florida.
Orlando. Yes, that's insanity.
That is insanity right there. Okay, now let's do this. I want a simple, brief yes or no. Mr. Blue, do you feel that her stance on this transgender affirmation is going to affect her voting?
Yes.
Mr. James?
Absolutely.
Kiana?
Yes.
Lloyd Paul?
No.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to ask you why you say no.
Because of the gay community. It's a very, very large community. And let's not forget, there's a lot of heterosexual parents who are in support of their gay children, transgender children. So you got to look at it. Yeah, you're going to have your people who are not going to vote for her because of that. But then you got that large population in the gay community and the parents, the brothers and sisters that do support them. So she's caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, you know what? I can agree with you, Lloyd Paul, because I want us to a degree. But if you do the ratio, there are more straight people, not including the what you call it, Bible thumpers and all of that. There are more straight people than there are heterosexual. It's just that the heterosexual are making more noise. So let's go to the next topic.
No, Sam had something to say. Sam has something to say.
Okay, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to say that the reason why I did say yes is going to affect, because when you hear a lot of traditional men, and you hear a lot of traditional women, when they played that game during they played that ad during Monday Night Football. They did polls after that, and I believe it was like 81% of people believed that she did that, and they would use that in their decision for their vote. Now, yes, the LGBTQIA plus community is definitely growing, but it's still less than 3% of the U.S. population. There's 350-something million people in the U.S. So 3% is not a whole lot. And I think that's why that community, they try to bring black people into it, because they need as many allies. That's why when you see people go up to Capitol Hill or Congress, they'll be there for LGBTQIA plus, but then they'll add at the end of the sentence, and for people of color. Because they need everybody to make their numbers bigger. But stats already show it's less than 3% of
correct.
Million people.
And that's with fact checker too. That's with fact checker. With fact checker, there are only 3% homosexuals in the United States of America. So they are not the larger population. They're just more boisterous. Okay?
I'm not going to disagree. I'm just going to add to that, where we have to look at it from a whole different spectrum. So, yes, that's that 3%. I'm not sure about the percentage, but that's 3% that's documented. People that don't mind coming out the closet, so to speak. Let's not forget that people who are secretly still in the closet because of being ridiculed, criticized, and all that. You got sports athletes, you got movies, we got actors, rappers, singers. So it might be actually 85%. We don't know, because they're not coming forward. It's like if Sam Fitz and Mr. James, you know, we getting abused by our women. We getting beat up every night, but it's not documented that how many men are abused because of our being embarrassed by it, our egos. It's highly documented for women, because women will put it out there and come forward. But men, if we have a low percentage rate of being an abusive rate because of our, male egos. We don't want to be known as being beat up by our women. So when you go with percentages and all that, you also have to take into account for the people who are not coming forward because of whatever reasons.
Okay. All right. With that being said, Sawyer, I need you to, my engineer Sawyer, I need you to fact. This will be our first fact check. Okay.
That Donald Trump.
All right. Now go ahead on to the next topic.
Michigan voters believe that Donald Trump would do a better job with handling the economy and bringing jobs back. What do you say to that?
Well, let's start with this. I come from the middle class, and I'll never forget where I come from. My mother worked very hard. She, by the time I was a teenager, was able to save up for our first home.
I don't have no unearthly idea why. Now, y'all know my stance. I don't care about neither one of them because neither one of them are going to dictate the quality of my life. Period. I'm not voting for now one of them. I never voted in my life. And y'all know my stance on that. I feel like if I go vote, I'm telling God I'm putting faith in the man. All right. So anyway, why can't she just answer a question without going back with all of that rhetoric? Well, we're going to get to Trump too. This is not partial. We're going to take both of the asses. But why can't she never? At least he will answer the question. Mr. James.
Here we go with me again. I say, Kiana, what do you think?
Oh, you passing the torch? Kiana. Go ahead, Kiana. He the moderator and the host. Go ahead, Kiana.
It's kind of like manipulation in a way. She wants to twist it. She can't answer the question because she doesn't have an answer for any of the questions. She has a script and she's sticking to it until she can't. I'm tired of hearing my mother is middle class. She saved up for this house. Like at this point, I feel like I know what she's going to say before she even says it. So yeah, she just doesn't have any answers to really give.
And then, okay, thank you, Kiana. Then earlier, yesterday, I did some fact checking on the amount of questions that she actually answers without all of this BS. And it is so many, just like there are Republicans switching to Democrat, but there are way more Democrat people saying they're not getting the answers they need from her. All right, Mr. Blue.
Yeah, I think I don't think she's to blame.
But why does she do that? Why does she do that?
No, I'm about to tell you. It's her campaign staff. She's doing everything that they want. And a lot of people forget that in 2019, when she ran for president, she dropped out early. The reason why she had to drop out early, because her entire campaign staff quit on her because she treated them so poorly. And her senior campaign aide wrote a letter that's out there on the internet saying how bad she worked with the Obama campaign. She worked with Hillary Clinton, and she worked, she was just so disrespectful for her staff. So I think because she has no staff of her own, she was given a skeleton crew from Obama and a skeleton crew from Joe Biden. So basically, they have one agenda, and then Biden's people have another agenda. But the one mistake I think that they're making, especially at the beginning, was they kept her from the media. Because when you looked at the guy J.D. Vance and Trump, they were going on ABC and NBC, and they was getting thrashed. But I think that prepared them. And I feel she should have been more, her people should have more confidence to prepare her. But I think she's basically just listening to her campaign staff.
It's almost like she's a puppet being pimped by the Democratic Party. They've been leading the nation for 92 years, and yet and still, our people are dead last and finance and economical wealth. And that is a fact. Sawyer, that's the second fact check. Okay. All right. I think that it's because there is no way around it that you can't go. Bacon was only $3, maybe 49 cents, 69 cents back then. When Trump was in office, everything was gravy, baby. You know, and it ain't because of the damn stimulus, because that came from Obama passing the torch, okay? But everything was better. Interest rates, mortgages. That's where I feel that Trump is going to win, because what's the root of all evil? The love of money. And people want their money back. We never had to pay for no gas this high. We never had to pay groceries this high before. She keep talking about going back to on day one, I'm going to do this. You've been in office for 3 3/4 of a year, and you did have influence, because in my opinion, Biden wasn't the president because he was incompetent. So, with that being said, Mr. James, it's your turn. You ain't dodging no bullets over here.
Well, I'm not trying to dodge it. I just want to hear other people speak also first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will oblige. Fitz, you're 1,000% dead wrong, bro. So I'm not a political person, but I follow politics for a reason. So let me go back to where your original question. She does what she does because she has to do a segue. She has to segue and lead in to the point. And I love the fact that she's not negating other people's lives, that she's utilizing her personal experience to talk to those people who were in that position or are in that position. So no, she's not using her mom. She's not being repetitive or boring with the same story. They keep asking her the same questions, so she's going to keep segueing so they can keep hearing it. How they say it? Speak louder so people in the back of the room can hear you. Well, that's what she's doing.
Okay, check this out.
No.
You gotta.
No. We're not doing. Nope. Now I'm.
Hold on. Now hold on. You're Lloyd Paul. You go for an interview at Paramount. They ask you a simple question, and you go straight to my mama bought bacon, eggs, and grits for breakfast. How would that affect your position?
So, ask me a question that you feel, and then I will. I'll work with it.
Do you think that the economy? I'm gonna use the same damn question. Do you think the economy is worse? Be honest now. Honest, totally honest. Do you think that the economy is pure garbage, worse now since you and Biden been in office versus when Trump was in?
Well, we had the economy in order that Obama inherited that he had to fix.
Okay, you answered the question. You answered the question. She doesn't.
No, don't dictate my question, but you asked me a question. I answer it. Don't manipulate my answer. We ain't doing that. The economy was horrible under the previous Obama's previous administration, right? Which is the Bush, right? Obama inherited that. It took him 8 years, but he fixed what he can fix because from day one, Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, and they all said, we're not passing nothing under the Obama administration. Let's not forget that. They said we're not passing nothing. So we ain't doing that. He had to do executive signatures over a lot of the things he had to get passed, even Obamacare. So we ain't doing that. And Obamacare was this thick. By the time the Republicans had to negotiate with him, it became this thick. That's one. Number two, when Trump got in office, he reversed a whole lot of stuff and destroyed this economy that Obama fixed. So our administration inherited a Trump problem that we turned around. The GDP yesterday was just up 28%. So I can go on and on about who messed up the economy and what we inherited. We inherited an economy that Trump destroyed that was already on a good track, that was fixed. And
okay.
You know it.
Okay, then check this out. You see how you answered the question? Did you talk about your heritage or anything? That's what I'm getting to. Okay, hold on. We got to take turns. Mr. Blue.
The reason why she gets asked the same question, and even the people on CNN and MSN says this, they're trying to give her an opportunity to actually give the answer. They say that. They keep asking her. She goes on The View. They ask her, in your administration, what is something that you would have done different that under the Biden-Harris administration? Nothing comes to mind. Okay, she's on CNN the next day. They ask her, what are some of the things that you would have did? Do you have any regrets? Because you were the last one in the room, correct? Yes, I was. You had just as much input into this administration. Yes, I did. So what would you have changed? Would you have revised signing an executive order to shut down the border, not wait till the election year, but do it when you first came into office? No, I think we did everything fine. There's no regrets. These allies of her, ABC, NBC, they are trying to help her. You hear them when she's in an interview, they're trying to coach her into it. And I watch every single interview. I watch it multiple times because that's what I do. Because I don't want to talk out the side of my head, but they're trying to help her the best they can. They try to do, coach her through. Oprah tried to coach her through. I watched that one a few times, and Oprah was even shocked with some of the stuff she was saying. So when you get your main media ally, CNN and MSN, talking about you in a negative light, that tells you right there, they're supposed to be biased towards her. Like, they're supposed to favor her. But they're up there talking about her. So I think that right there speaks for itself, regardless of what anybody on this panel says. The liberal network that supports her is saying it. So it can't just be us; it's them too.
No answer.
Can I interject?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to rebut. Then I'm going to Mr. James.
All right, cool. So I watch the same interviews. There's 5 of us up here. We can all watch the same interview and get 5 different opinions.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you took from whatever interview she's done, that's your opinion, and that's not for anybody to even refute. Like, real talk, that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They can't bully something out of you that you already here, right? But I'm very analytical, and I'm an observer of behavior and wordplay. And one thing I will say is that at first, I wasn't really feeling anything about her because I didn't know anything about her. I wanted to know where she came from. She was a district attorney, senator, all that. I just fact-checked what Fitz was saying about the, what was that? I'm sorry. The campaign staff quitting. The campaign staff didn't quit. She didn't quit. What happened was she ran out of money, and she was going to be placed for a campaign manager because her top donors told her to get rid of that, and she was already going to do that. So she was replacing her campaign manager, but the money that they were trying to raise from super PACs and all that, she didn't have the money for the campaign they were trying to run. Trust me, fam, I can read. Trust me. So we're not going to go back and forth with we ain't going to do that. But what I just read again.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Hold on.